Hey everyone, and welcome to Signals from the Frontline, your every Wednesday live broadcast brought to you by Frontline Gaming. We are your hosts, Kicker, the Chief of Cereal, and Stitchlight of the FLG. And I'm Seth, the Grumpy Votann, your competitive correspondent. Kicker, how you been doing?
Are you officially I'm doing great, Seth, but are you changing your nickname now from the Mad Doc to the Grumpy Votann? Is that the game plan?
Or better yet, the Judgmental Votann.
Oh, okay, there we go. The Judgmental Votann. I think that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Seth, yes, Seth is running Votann, and I just got back from SoCal, guys, and there was I think 3 list running Votann. One of the Frontline Gaming staffers was there playing, and I think he came in 51st, 52nd running Votann. I was really proud of him. Just infantry and bikes.
A fellow judger, you might say.
A fellow judgmental person. Yes. Shout out to Kevin if he's listening. So,
What have you been up to? Chat has some strong opinions about a certain cereal.
Cereal? Shit. All right. Well,
cereal combo that you use.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah, we're going to discuss this. But guys, if you are listening to our podcast on your drive to work sometime during the middle of the day, you should be watching us live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get to jump in chat. Chat is what makes the show. They are family members to Seth and I, and of course you get the visual elements, which you just can't get through your ears because your ears don't have eyeballs. So yeah, I don't even know if that makes sense, but Seth,
I am a doctor. That checks out.
Okay, Seth.
Ears do not have eyeballs.
Ears do not have eyeballs. But yeah, if you are listening, thank you for listening. But you should try to watch live with us. So Seth is asking me what is going on that's controversial in my life. Seems like the guys on Grim After Dark decided to call my cereal eating habits out by saying that I should not be eating, or they think it's weird, basically, that I'm eating yogurt with my cereal. And let's just be straight up. Grim After Dark doesn't know shit. All right. Just saying it straight up. They don't know shit. There's a lot of nuances to eating cereal properly. Clearly, they are not cereal connoisseurs. The way to properly eat cereal is to preserve the sanctity of the cereal taste and texture, guys. This is just basic foodie 101. You need to save the taste and texture. Milk, while delicious, milk is delicious, but it does deteriorate the texture immensely.
It does affect, the structural integrity is affected.
Yes. And that's not acceptable if you're trying to really enjoy a wonderful bowl of Honey Bunches of Oats or something, like Golden Grams.
Chat has a hot take on the proper way to eat cereal.
Okay, chat.
Joel Adkins says, buy the fistful at 3 a.m.
Yes, you see, that is a correct way to eat cereal. That is a perfectly wonderful
preserving
way.
The structure and the flavor.
Yeah, and it's actually adding a really cool pureness to it. Like a very cool element.
A puritanical cereal.
It's a puritanical cereal.
I don't know what's going on here.
Well, guys, so I eat my cereal, as Grim After Dark strongly opposes to, using Greek yogurt as my base. A nice plain Greek yogurt not only offers more protein than traditional milk, but it's thicker density than milk, allows the cereal to float, for lack of a better word, on top and thus remain crunchy throughout the entire eating experience, maintaining texture, which is integral to the enjoyment of eating a bowl of cereal. Now let's move along, people. Because we were rambling way too much about cereal. But yes, guys, I got back from SoCal. SoCal was amazing. Lots of fun. We're going to be talking more about SoCal later on today, so I don't want to ramble too much about that. I would like to talk to my correspondent / co-host / bestie, Seth, right here. Seth, you went to battle this weekend. What happened, man?
I did. This weekend I went to a local GT, Come the Apocalypse, kind of my last hurrah this season with my orcs, because now it's with the pre-release announced and the pre-orders up, it's full speed forward on the Votann train.
As fast as your stumpy legs can carry you.
That's right. I think we've been joined by Techpriest.
I wanted to say, because of the show, Grim After Dark, I guess we can call them by name. I had some cereal with some Greek yogurt this morning.
Yeah.
It was delightful.
It was delightful, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, Techpriest Dickie, you probably know about this, but this is not eating cereal with yogurt is not a foreign concept outside of the U.S. In Germany, you eat something called muesli, and that is with yogurt. And by the way, guys, I am German, so there is a heritage, a cultural, a traditional element to this.
So, are they attacking your culture now?
Oh no! Wow, this is getting.
Oh God!
This is getting. I think it tastes good. That's all.
Good. I'm so proud of you, Techpriest Dickie.
That
is coming from me.
I know you guys are slackers this week, but I have some hobby progress.
Oh, let's see it.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, we do have the the SoCal Open champ himself in chat,
Oh.
Ben
What up?
Jurek saying, "I'm sticking to whole milk,
Yeah.
the performance drink."
Oh,
I don't
jeez.
think any human being has ever called whole milk a performance drink before. But
Yeah.
who are we to argue?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, guys, results speak for themselves, and Ben Jurek did just win the SoCal
I
Open.
mean,
So if whole milk is what it's doing it.
how is he wrong? I mean, right?
All right, look at this hobby progress that we got here.
I built a table of terrain.
This is
Woo-woo.
gorgeous. That
Yeah.
terrain looks awfully familiar.
Yeah.
Seth, do you want to describe Techpriest's hobby progress for the week for those listening?
It appears to be some sort of chaotic ruins, maybe some corrupted mounds.
Yep.
And I think he went with the corn colors.
We're going with
The
red.
What gave it away?
And with a corn mat. Yeah.
The red.
It is a set of the new chaos terrain
Yeah.
from FLG.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited to play on this. I don't know when I'm going to be playing on it, but it's ready to rock and roll, as you can see in my gaming room. Yeah.
And you got the matching colored mat from Frontline Gaming
man.
as well. So.
I'm super excited. Yeah.
So I got to ask, because I have not built one of these. How quickly did you build it? Like, and you can be honest. Like,
Yeah. It took so I procrastinated the first day.
Okay.
And I only built 2 crates. Second day, I built the 2 big buildings, the 2 big towered buildings, and the 2 other crates. And then today, I had some time at lunch. I was able to build all the L's and all the ground cover. So it was like a 3-day process, and I kind of really screwed the pooch on day 1. So yeah, it could have been done in 2 days.
Looks beautiful, man.
I have one more chat comment before we get too far ahead that's slightly concerning to me.
Is it cereal?
They spun off into various cereal topics, and then the Haunted Bagels came in with, "I'll stick to my bagels."
Fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, you could enjoy both cereal and
Is that
bagels.
cannibalism, though?
Yeah, his name is the Haunted Bagel. Well, guys, as always, we love chat. Jump in tonight. We have a lot of
Oh,
interesting stuff.
we have Sir Val himself in chat.
I'm out of here.
Shit.
I'm out of here. I'm gonna get yelled at.
None other than the FLG and director himself. All right, let's talk about some new products, guys. Let's just yay! I'm so freaking excited, guys. Guard are getting the Dorn tank. Not so happy about the name.
Dorn.
Yes, right, the Regal Dorn tank. But
The Regal
guys,
Dorn, the Royal Dorn, whatever
I
it
don't
is.
care what, some people are opinionated, some people don't like the tank. It is a gorgeous tank. It's smaller than a Baneblade, bigger than a Russ, has
Looks about the size of a footprint of a Land Raider to me.
Yeah, I would say that. I think that's about right. Of course, it's always hard to see these things until you see them, like scale them until you see them in person. But got a couple different turret weapon options. It's got the gunner like Fury style, standing behind the tank turret, standing outside the tank, shooting, I guess, the heavy stubber that I'm like a total sucker for. I think it hits all the right notes. I'm extremely excited for this. Seth, what are your thoughts? Do you like it?
I love it. I think it's real. It's different enough to be distinct in the guard army, but still not so different that you're like, this doesn't belong in this army. And I know a lot of people in the community that were kind of ho-hum about guard, and even they were like, this is pretty good. Longtime fan of FLG, Anthony Vanilla, who frequently refers to Imperial Guard as the NPC faction of 40K, was like, darn, that's a good looking tank. I might have to get some.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you heard it there, Seth. Like, if Anthony Vanilla says it's a good looking tank, I guess it's a good looking tank. I'm not so sure about the nipple guns as they've been referred to a few times online.
Look, you got to sweep that area in front of you to keep those infantry out of your way.
Whatever works for the guard. They've been around for a while. So yeah, I do also like all the options it gives you. Several different, sponsoon weapons, nipple gun weapons, turret weapons. I like options.
Yeah.
Options are good.
And I've Green Blood Crusade in chat says going to make a great orc tank. Oh, don't worry, I've seen a billion orc posts about how can we loot all this now.
And Gene's Killer Cults too, right?
Yeah, this thing, the GSC players are going to slap their logos of it. I know orc players are already like, that's a battle wagon. So it's going to be a good old time. Everyone's going to get some love out of that kit.
So the tank is new. We've been teased, and even I don't know what the next model that they're supposed to, because there's supposed to be one more model that's going to get released. I mean, it could just be their HQ character, the rumored HQ riding a horse, a Lord Solar Mechanic, whatever his name is. That is probably it, but there's one more model that is yet to be formally shown that we should be getting to see next week.
It's a Lanttrain?
A Lantern? Oh, what?
Votann Lanttrain?
a land trank.
Votann?
Dude, you,
Votann
you
paint?
had your releases for the year. You're gonna have to sit tight probably
Fine.
till next edition or whatever.
All
Yeah, just
right, fine.
but we know you and I both know Votann are gonna get a whole nother release. It's gonna be just as big as what we got to start off with, just like the sisters got. It's probably gonna have all the really cool stuff. Probably not a land train, but I bet there's gonna be at least one flyer because based off of all the flyers on the cover and whatnot.
Look, dwarves are real sensitive about flying.
What are you talking about? In fantasy, they had the gyrocopter, and in current
They don't like being tossed.
in Age of Sigmar, they have like the little hot air balloon faction.
They don't like being tossed.
Okay, all right. Other really cool announcement is the Skinks. Okay, yes, I know the Skinks are really part of the newer box of Warcry, the new box release for Warcry. But the Skinks, come on, guys, the Skinks in this new Warcry box look so freaking cool. I don't play Age of Sigmar, I don't play Warcry, but I will buy this box just for the Skinks. Seth, thoughts on lizards?
They are compared
Cute.
to where they were a while ago. Like when you go back to like fantasy, fantasy models. Like no offense to my square basers out there, I know a lot of you identify as square basers, but
Mr.
because of the
Bell.
style of that game, and it was a rank and flank game, a lot of the infantry looked identical to the dude standing next to him.
Yeah.
And these guys have a lot of character, which I think is really cool. So that adds a lot of diversity. And for a small skirmish game like Warcry, I think that's really important. So I really like them. I'm into them. And I think these would paint up super fast and well with contrast paints.
Oh yes,
or
totally,
speed paints, whatever you want to use.
Like, yeah, I know. And we're not plugging GW paints or GW products. Like, let's be clear, Seth and I generally have been using contrast paints, and this is the perfect use.
I think like that whole medium of paint is so well suited for organics like this.
Yeah.
I think it's almost foolproof.
Like even the shields on the like would work great with contrast. Yeah, and with me, like I've always liked the Skinks from the first, I guess, version in the old school fantasy. But you're right, they have a lot more dynamic poses here. And what's cool about these Skinks in particular, though, is that they also have weapon or multiple weapons. You got the blow dart guns, whatever. Yeah. But some have like spears and javelins, so it's nice to have a little.
Some have little bolas. Yeah. Some have some clubs.
So we got that. Is there any other new product that I might be missing, Seth?
I believe there have been new Joy toys previewed.
Yes, the Tau. I believe there's a black
Tau and Marnius Calgar.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Which after again, it wasn't last week. I guess it was a couple weeks ago when someone informed me on the show that there was Orc Joy toys coming. I may or may not have looked up release dates and prices and just kind of budgeted that in.
Yeah.
But those things, I've seen a lot of the Space Marine ones in person, and I gotta say, Kicker, there's a really, really sick part of me that wants to get a bunch of Joy toys and then do a scaled up version of 40K with them.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's nothing sick about that. That sounds
it is because that's going to be ungodly expensive.
Yeah, I know, but like we can go to like not Toys
R Us. A Commando's like $80.
Yeah, okay, it's expensive.
Single one,
but like we can go to like the toy store and get a bunch of like Barbie doll houses to be like the ruins and shit.
Techpriest is bad.
There's one thing that was released last week that we didn't talk about.
What's that? What?
Oh yeah!
This is way more you see, I ignore all this stuff. Seth, take it away.
You ignore this stuff?
I mean, I don't ignore it.
So this was the balanced data slate, the long rumored balanced data slate. Pretty minor changes. They did a good job of highlighting in this article here that basically they looked at their data that GW has collected and looked at those armies that were outside that sweet spot of that 45 to 55% win rate. And those were kind of the armies they went after. And that was Tyranids, Harlequins needed to get some level of nerfs, and AdMech and Space Marines needed to get a little buff. AdMech, they kind of just basically removed the last of the previous nerfs that they had on there, which to be fair, they've kind of rolled back a few of those over time. So not a ton of changes there. Space Marines got, what was it? Shock tactics.
Yeah.
In fact, this came up several times this weekend at my GT, including my last game, that if you basically, as a Marine player, take an objective off someone, it's 4 points instead of 3 points.
Yeah.
So I know that Thomas Bird now is a thorough believer in shock tactics as a Marine secondary. As for Harlequins there, the lovely Techpriest has brought it up. Basically light lost their ability to advance and shoot if they're in a transport. So no more our Star Weavers zipping all over the place and the guys inside firing 2 mortal wound guns and 2 melta guns out of it. They basically adjusted Leviathan nids and said, "Hey, only the monsters get that kind of transhuman, that 4-up. The little gribblies get a 3-up to wound, no better than a 3-up." And there's kind of a bit of a, uh, I suspect a bit of a clerical error where warriors and zoanthropes don't get any benefit, so they would be wounded on normal toughness. I wouldn't be surprised to see that get updated to say, "Oh no, they also get the mini,
Yeah.
the mini." I don't want to say transhuman because they're not human. Trans bugman,
Trans Xenos or something. Yeah.
bugman. They're bugs.
Bugman. You know what's interesting? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of grumbling saying like this is not a good balanced data slate because it didn't do much. I think the game is not. It's getting to a pretty good balance. Like the data slates should not have to be world changing. They should just I mean we should be in a place where the game doesn't need massive changes.
Yeah.
I mean I think they could have given
We're
a little
near
bit
the
more.
end of an edition.
Yeah.
If you think about, we've had how many codex releases this edition?
Yeah.
And all of them have received FAQs and balance updates. I mean, Votann had its FAQ and balance update before the full range came out.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things have been addressed over the years. And you can make the argument that maybe GW's data doesn't show the full picture because some factions are just not well represented. You don't see them a lot, and to an extent, yeah, that's true. But on the same hand, just because a faction isn't highly represented doesn't mean it's not balanced.
Yeah.
It just could be a less popular faction, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So I think this was, and I tried. I don't know if I didn't get a chance to watch the Thursday show last week, but I had a great pun for Adam to use last week, and I don't know that he did it, but I feel that this was a very light touch on GW's part because they modified light for Harlequins. They also got rid of core on the Silent King and on the command barges. That's not a big deal, really. The Necrons can still score like nobody's business. I know there were some groups that were really disappointed in it. Art of War was extremely vocal about their disappointment on it the day of, and they actually released their own. It's a wish list. That's all there is to it. They wrote their own wish list FAQ. I appreciate that there are some higher level guys out there that really want to try to rebalance a lot of things in the game. But at the end of the day, they're the upper echelons of the competitive end. That doesn't necessarily represent the whole community. And for better or worse, GW is trying to balance all the armies for all the players, not just top end tournament play. They're trying to balance it for the weekend warrior tournament player. They're trying to balance it for the narrative players at home. So it's kind of a really wide audience. You change too much,
monumental task. I mean, come on.
You're gonna remember when there was the second or third round of nerfs to Iron Hands.
Yeah,
there were players demanding codex refunds back then. And GW doesn't want to alienate a lot of their player base by changing, if Kicker, come here, Kicker, come here.
Yeah, come here.
You Kicker were hobbying up a light Harlequin army. You were painting all the little chevrons, all the fancy colors, and GW just came in and just smashed your army to the ground. You would be pissed.
I am a very weak human being, and I would probably cry.
Yeah. So you don't want them to be too firm. I understand that people want more change. There's going to be more change. There's always something else coming. There's new points coming. There's new mission packets. There's new codexes. There's always going to be something to shake up the meta. I understand if you're a monofaction player, if you're stuck to that one army, it can be frustrating if your army is struggling. And that's not great. But on the same hand, that's why most of us start multiple armies.
Yeah, I mean, right. But Seth, I think we can talk about it later in a little bit about SoCal specifically. But look who's winning. There's a pretty wide range of armies that are winning. I mean, Orcs just won. Like what, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's, yes, it's always nice to tweak things a little bit. And yes, there is some things that can and probably should have been done. But overall, the game state is pretty fun and interesting right now. At the bare minimum.
I think we're seeing a lot of variety in terms of top placing armies, which to me is interesting because it makes it a little bit harder to predict what you're going to run into out there. I think, this is super, this thing was out for a week. Not even, it'd have been a week tomorrow.
Yep.
Let's give it a month. Let's see what the data does. Let's see how, excuse me, you've got the full Votann codex rolling out here. You've got Guard sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be World Eaters coming too. Don't know when those are coming. Let's see how those affect the meta. Let's see if they're, right now we're trying to narrow in that band. But don't forget, like a year or two ago, we had armies up at the 65, 70% win rates. That were just
it's
absurd.
Amazing how small the gap we have now, right? I mean, it's such a small gap. Let's jump on into the hobby box real fast. I just want to remind people, this is your last chance to get this hobby box. It's basically the high roller package with a bunch of different stuff, but same sort of massive value.
I hear you added something to the hobby box.
We have been adding stuff nonstop. What have we added? I don't know. You told me.
I thought there was maybe some terrain talk.
Oh, really? I don't know. They keep on adding stuff to it. So the hobby box, you tell me, Seth. I didn't read all the notes. So I know that they keep on adding value to the hobby box. It is sold in limited quantities, and there is a current awesome raffle being given away that's in combination with this hobby box release. I think you can only get the hobby box for the next 5 or 6 days before we take it off the website or whatever. But yeah, it's basically got all your favorite, different brands in there, have got product crammed in there. So if you're not going to LVO or you missed out on the high roller package, this is a way to, get something of kind of equivalent value. Seth, have you ever done one of these mystery boxes? A lot of comic conventions do mystery boxes like this, and I know they're really, really popular. Yeah,
they are. And to confirm, there is a post up on the Frontline Gaming Facebook page where it says for that hobby box, there is a chance to pick between Orc, Gothic, Ruin, Theme Snow, Urban Overgrown, and more.
Oh, no way. What? Okay, so probably going to be some Frontline Gaming terrain in there, which...
Yep, it's in the hobby box giveaway. FLG.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in the giveaway. Yeah. So there's a giveaway going on. You can win a hobby box. You can win tickets to LVO, even the sold out, 40K champs. And you can also win full sets of terrain.
You know how people get in these giveaways?
Multiple ways. You got to like, share, subscribe, follow.
Yeah, so it's the Gleam campaign. So you go and do all that stuff, and you get entered to win terrain. You get entered to win hobby boxes, a bunch of stuff like that. So.
And finally, more stuff getting released next week. A new product from Frontline Gaming, which you'll have to wait till next week to hear more about.
Is it finally the Frontline Gaming branded cup holders that attach to the tables?
Man, we have to make those. Oh, for those that have been asking, the Frontline Gaming folding table that you'll love. You see it at all the top tables of Frontline Gaming events. It's really freaking amazing. It's been sold out for months now. We have a new shipment arriving in November, and as soon as it arrives, we will put it up for order on our website, as well as for pickup or takeout, or whatever the term you want to use, for pre-order, pickup at LVO, as well as when Cherokee tickets.
Now, kicker. People are asking in chat if there'll be signal stickers.
Ooh,
as the new product.
Yeah, so I'm out of my signal stickers after SoCal, man. So maybe we should make some signal stickers. I think we should do it.
I think we can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Let's just jump right into some other event headlines, if that's cool with you, Seth, because I think we need to discuss something that's kind of not the most pleasant conversation piece, but we need to discuss it. It seems like another event has decided to issue challenge coins, and no, they are not valid at any FLG event. Yes, the TO admits he was just copying us, and that imitation is the best form of flattery. And hey man, kudos to you. We didn't create the challenge coin. We just brought it to the 40K scene, specifically the 40K tournament scene. But it's really confusing. In the past, I guess, day that this has been announced, less than 2 days, I've gotten quite a few people reaching out to me saying, like, what's going on? Are these legit? And some people actually really kind of annoyed at the TO for doing this. Like, dude, like, why would you, muddy the waters like this? Are you trying to pose as an FLG event? And I'm like, the guy's a great guy. I'm sure his event is going to be amazing. But no, guys, unless it's a Frontline Gaming event, those challenge coins that you earn at Frontline Gaming events are the only ones that are valid at things like the LVO or whatnot for prizes and perks and whatnot.
All right.
Thank you. Let's jump into one last thing. I got to tell you guys, the LVO paint classes, we still have a few spots left for Duncan's and Kenny's, and then there's the master classes, just a few spots left. Duncan Rhodes has got a class on Sunday. So if you're playing the 40K champs or
Oh,
HSC
that's
champs,
cool.
you can go to a Duncan Rhodes class in the evening or in the afternoon. And so you can kind of get the best of both
I mean,
worlds.
what if I kicker
Yeah.
make the top 8? Would you guys refund
Seth,
my?
yes, you read my mind, man. It's like you read notes or something. I don't know.
It's
Actually,
actually not in the notes. I
there's
just
no
know
notes
that's the
in this. You
policy.
just wonderful, wonderful segue. No, you're whatever transition. Yes, guys, if you do make the top 8 in any one of the game systems you're playing at LVO and you're unable to attend another tournament or seminar or paint class, you will be fully refunded. So no
Yeah.
sweat about that.
Yeah, I was actually talking to some friends about LVO that have not been before, and was encouraging them that basically, besides the Sunday RTTs, if there's something you're wanting to sign up for, you're best off signing up for it in advance because there is definitely not a guarantee of tickets being there. So, if you're debating, what do you want to do Sunday? Party is like, maybe I can make that top 8,
Yeah.
but you're like, but man, that painting class sounds really good. Like, it's
Get the
better to
ticket
jump
for the
into it
painting class.
now
Yeah.
and have it locked in than get there and be like, Sunday I really want to go to that painting class actually, and then you get there and they're like, hey, no tickets left.
Yeah. And also with the long war doubles on Sunday, that's one
Yep.
of the most favorited. Is that the word favorite? Is that a word? I just made that up. Favorite.
It is a fan favorite.
It is a fan favorite thing to do on Sunday is go to the long war doubles. Far more relaxed, casual atmosphere. Just a fun way to hang out with your buddy
I
on
did
Sunday.
that 2020, the
Yeah.
year before COVID.
Yeah, sweet, man. Yeah, no, it's fun. If you sign up for that now, you'll get a really cool custom display mat for you and your teammate. So that's something you do not want to wait on for. You can't just show up at LVO and hope to jump in the long war doubles last minute because it's not going to happen. All right, I guess it's time to talk about the really important thing that happened this weekend. And can we go there? Should we do there? Let's do it.
Yeah. There's this little event that you helped run, Kicker. You want
Yeah,
to tell
right.
us about it?
The SoCal Open was this weekend. It was held in Del Mar, California, right outside San Diego in the fairgrounds. And it is one of the Frontline Gaming legacy events, one of our longest running events, way before my time. This has been going on. And we should have just...
It was before LVO.
It was before. Oh yeah, it was before LVO for sure, man, for sure. Frontline Gaming is originally from San Diego, and this was the home event. Seth, do you want to read some of the winners, or should I just pick
Yeah.
and choose?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
mean, I think I want to build some dramatic tension, so we're
all
going to
right.
save the 40K champs best general till a little bit further down the line. But
All right.
for hobbyists, our number 3 was Kenny Boucher.
Yeah.
Is Kenny maybe teaching some hobby classes?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Kenny is teaching a seminar at the LVO,
Yeah.
and he has his own painting studio and
But
whatnot.
yeah, he's pretty mean with the brush. Number 2 is a frequent hobby track flyer of ours, JT Steiger.
Yeah.
And then our number 1 for the event was Kevin Thomas. We have here, this is actually Sean Naden's orcs, if I remember correctly. Is
Yes,
that correct?
that is Sean Naden's orcs.
Yes, the Techpriest says that is Sean Naden's.
Yeah, can you believe Sean flew? Can we go back to that other slide? Sean flew from the northeast all the way to the southwest with this display. I mean,
I'm impressed that he flew with a multi-level display board. I'm
Yeah.
sure he has some tips and tricks on trying to make those things kind of break down and easier to travel with. But that is braver than I would have been traveling with a display board. Speaking of Sean, when we go over to the Ren Men, the Ren Person Awards, our number 3 was Andrew Whitehead. Number 2 was Sean Naden himself. But sneaking into that top spot was Mike Mateer. So congrats, Mike. We had a lot of good showings out there for different factions. So best Aldari was Kyle Perry with his Harlequins. Best Chaos, Matthew Geyer with Chaos Demons. Best Imperium, Junior Flahy with Blood Angels. Junior's California Terror, I would say. And then our best Xenos was Ben Jurek. And speaking of Xenos and Ben Jurek, our third place best general, Scott LaFontaine. Second place best general, Matt Green. And number 1, the war boss himself, the longtime orc player that we all know and love, Ben Jurek. So congrats, Ben. I know that you have been grinding hard for a long time to get this win. So I'm just really happy for you, man. So congrats. You earned it. keep up the good work for the blog.
Seth, just in like one sentence, do you want to describe his list?
Golf pressure.
There we go. Golf pressure. 2 words. Not even a full sentence. Just 2 words.
Coming at you.
Just 2 words. Perfect. Guys, we didn't only have 40K at SoCal. SoCal also has, Age of Sigmar with the best general being Ramon Silvia, who I believe won last year best general Age of Sigmar at SoCal. We had Kill Team. Alex Sequis won the Kill Team champs there. We even had Blood Bowl this year. First place taken by John Sibley. So yeah, dude, Blood Bowl, these guys know how to party. Let's just say
God, I've tried playing Blood Bowl, and that is a brutal game.
Yeah.
That is, the dice, when the dice go cold on you in Blood Bowl, people die.
Yeah. But like the Blood Bowl guys, like, they have for lack of a better word, commissioner jackets, like these big jackets with patches on them. I mean, these guys are, I don't know, they have their own uniform for that game system.
Can we get patches, Kicker?
We can get patches. We can and we should get patches. Star Wars Legion, run by Lance, one of our longtime SoCal TOs. Their first place winner was Bobby Joe Thomas. This guy, I see him at almost all the Frontline Gaming Legion events. He's always there. He's traveling from across the country, and he finally had his day and won. So, kudos to Bobby for winning the Star Wars Legion. MCP won by Alex Omoff. Guys, MCP at SoCal was an LVO qualifier. So if you won MCP at SoCal, you got a foot in the door to winning LVO. And then the 40K narrative was epic. Basically, you have the good and the bad.
Yeah, this was the Friday. Instead of being a 3-day tournament for 40K, you had a Friday narrative and then a Saturday, Sunday tournament. So tell us how that went down.
First of all, I got to be straight up, man. I didn't expect the narrative to sell out. Like, I was like, really? Because it's not really our bread and butter. Traditionally not. SoCal's 40K narrative sold out. It was epic. It was multiple ways of playing over the full day of Friday. So there was standard games, there was games on super thematic terrains like beachhead, games, but there was also a ridiculously large mega battle at night. So all the players played one massive apocalyptic game at night that ran till late in the evening. They're all hanging out and drinking and eating food. And I mean, I left. I'm like, guys, here's the keys to the door. You lock up. I'm going home because I got to wake up early for Saturday. But yeah, it was pretty epic. Imperium ended up winning at the very end. It came down to a draw, actually. And in true GW fashion, the Generals diced off for it, and the Imperials won, rolling 5 to Chaos's 3 dice. Everyone cheered. Everyone had fun, and it was a legit tie. It was kind of, it is a narrative, so there's a little doctrine there, but it was a really fun match. They actually had rules where you could take your flyers from one board to another board.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Seth, actually, maybe we should talk about the poll that we posted recently, like yesterday or today, about 40Ks. So, like, if we have a 3-day event, should we be doing a Sunday RTT or 40K narrative? That was a poll posted on the Frontline Gaming Facebook community group to try and, we use this group to really figure out
what the data currently says.
Yeah, what is the data currently? So the question was posted today. Only 2 choices: 40K narrative on Sundays or Sunday RTT. Seth, where are we at?
Right now, Sunday RTT has 71% of the votes to Sunday narrative at 29%.
Oh, wow. So because of the success of SoCal's narrative, I wanted to pose this question because I'm like, oh, maybe we should really pivot and bring in the narrative. But based purely off the poll results, I guess we want to keep with the standard RTT.
You kind of, in talking about LVO, I kind of forgot. Yeah, I voted for the narrative.
Yeah,
and that's because in my mind, the Sunday RTTs are single a limb. So if you lose, you're done for the day. So you're signing up to hang out and play all day. You drop your first game. Well, you ain't playing anymore today. Yeah. But a lot of the people that are interested in narrative go over to the doubles instead.
Yeah.
So I bet you that's where a lot of the narrative crowd is going on Sunday anyway.
Good point.
So that's an interesting thought that I hadn't had until we were just now on the show talking about it.
This is why we do this, man. This is why we do this. Well, hop in chat. Tell us what your thoughts are. 40K narrative or a Sunday RTT? Tell us what you're thinking. Let's jump into a few random stories from SoCal because we got to kind of do an event, overview real fast. And this is not just about SoCal, but these are just learning moments that we can all learn from for our own game experience or event organizing experience. First of all, I got to say, people love the venue. It's important you find a venue people like, and sometimes what you think is good or bad is not necessarily the truth. I am personally very unimpressed with the SoCal venue. To me, it's a stockyard. You're standing on a concrete floor. The bathrooms are shitty. There's no AC, but people love this venue. It's just got a lot of space. Super high.
It does have a lot of space. Is that small man in the middle of the picture you, Kicker?
Yes, that was some drone footage.
Know you cosplay as a Votann.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Explains right, Armin. Thanks, Seth. Yeah. So it is a massive venue. People love it. We roll up all the big garage doors on the side, the big cargo load-in doors, whatever, and
Mm.
so it gives you kind of an outdoor vibe. But people love the venue, which is cool. Now, I'm not sure if people love the venue because they just generally like the space, or maybe the location that you're right off. You're right close to the beach. People also might just like the venue because they've been going to it for years and they want to keep on going. Who
Yeah, there's
knows?
definitely some, I don't know if nostalgia is the right word,
Yeah.
but tradition. How's that?
Yeah, tradition. Well, also the vibe everywhere, you go to a tournament, whether it's in the Northeast or the Southwest, there's going to be a different, I guess, community playing because most of the players in attendance at any event we do is usually about 70% local or within,
Yeah,
driving range.
yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
and so
sense.
that culture totally impacts the experience. I mean, Seth, you've played in Atlantic City. That's a very different
Mhm.
vibe than playing,
Yeah.
back home, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that's a good point because, there are a few of us that fly to events, but a lot of people are looking at events mainly within driving distance from
Yep.
themselves. So that definitely is going to affect what group of people actually attend the majority of the event.
Yeah. And of course, this is, you know, a stone's throw away from the beach. Basically, it's right there on the West Coast, surfer country. Of course, the vibe there was very, for lack of a better word, chill. People were just really relaxed, and it's just. I mean, if you live in SoCal and that's how it is at all your tournaments, you're very fortunate because it's just a a very relaxed atmosphere, which I think everyone could enjoy.
Yeah.
40K narrative, as I talked about earlier, is big, and SoCal was the first time we had a big 40K narrative outside of LVO, and that's why we did that poll. But maybe we need to try and find a way to do more narratives. I will tell you though that narratives need their own terrain. You can't use your Frontline Gaming ITC Championship terrain.
Yeah, it doesn't. It depending on what the narrative is, if they're like, "Oh yeah, the battle's in the jungle," and you're like, "I'm in the cathedral
Yeah,
ruins,"
yeah,
you're like,
no,
"This
not
doesn't
work,
quite work for my narrative."
not working at
Yeah.
all.
So
Have you ever seen Infinity, Seth? Have you ever seen anyone play Infinity?
I mean, I've seen Infinity. I don't know that I've seen anyone play it, but I've seen the models.
Blew my mind. Never saw the game play. Plays, I think, in a 4x4. As also, we always talk about the Legion terrain and how gorgeous it
Mhm.
is. Infinity's even better.
All
I
right.
mean, I was just like shocked. I was just, what is this? I am so intrigued. Very loyal community. I mean, we basically had the Infinity event happen overnight, like 2 weeks before the event. Guys are like, I want to make Infinity happen. I'm like, okay, you sell X amount of tickets, we'll make it happen. And we made it happen. The community just came together for it. So Infinity is something I'm going to try and roll out at more Frontline Gaming events purely because I
Yeah.
was really impressed with it.
All right.
Um,
Yeah.
California, we're talking about
And it's
going
a
to.
it's a skirmish scale game, right, chat?
It
I'm
is
not
a
wrong on that.
skirmish. Yeah, it's a skirmish. I'm talking like I'd say 8 to maybe 14 minis on the
Yeah,
table, if
and
that.
see, I think doing a lot of the skirmish scale games like MCP and Infinity, if they, I know they have their big main events, but if they also ran like small Sunday events,
Yeah.
that would be cool because you could play, your
Oh, yeah,
big 40K thing on Saturday or Friday, Saturday, and then you could play your little skirmish games on
yeah.
Sunday,
So you're
and
saying, yeah.
that's a lot of that's me literally stealing ideas from larger events like Adepticon, where they have a 40K component, but they also have all these other little kind
Yeah.
of one day things. So I
I
think
mean,
that'd be
I think
cool.
that's really a badass idea though, Seth, right? You could play at LVO, the 40K champs on Friday and Saturday, and then on Sunday go play a kill team mini
Yeah,
champs or something
because
like
I
that.
know a ton of guys that got into MCP. I know a lot of people over the years have been playing Infinity, so that way you kind of get to scratch both your game itches, and you don't. It's not choosing which one you're going to do. It's I want to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we're talking about SoCal. One thing I got to say though is California blew me away with how pricey it was. I mean, I know everyone says California's expensive, but yeah.
I'm
I
I'm
mean,
very sorry for you guys that living out there.
yeah. I mean, I bought my snacks for the week. For the weekend, 3 days. I spent more on 4 days worth of snacks than I do for a week's worth of groceries back home. So yeah, that had me cry. I mean, I normally buy like $5 or $6 of cereal over the weekend, and I bought two because like that was all I could do.
All
Just
right, Kelsey, I'm going to interrupt you. Kelsey just had a great idea.
yeah, shoot. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Learn to play events on Sunday.
Oh snap! Oh, Kelsey, join the team. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Because if they had little, you don't have to have a ton of armies, but if some of these more industrious COs had a few small armies of Warcry
Yeah.
or Kill Team or Infinity or MCP, and I'm wandering around Sunday with nothing going on, and they're like, "Hey, come learn to play. Sign up for our Learn to Play event. We'll teach you how to play, and then you get 2 or 3 hours to play the game with a borrowed army."
Yeah.
That would be.
And like we have really good relationships with a lot of these manufacturers. We could probably even
Yeah,
get like, a
I'm liking
starter
this
set
idea.
for like a really cheap
Yeah,
for like learn to
multiple people
play.
saying they would love to learn to play Kill Team at LVO.
Love to learn to play Kill Team at LVO.
Mike Brandt, do you hear that?
Yeah, right. Well, so we are doing Thursday night. We're doing Learn to Play / demo play / come and hang out play. Everyone that plays Kill Team during that Thursday night pregame, the winner. And winner, it could be very a loose term. We'll get some sort of cool prize. But yeah, I love this idea, Kelsey. Keep them coming. That is a genius.
I mean, his other idea is you should come to Hawaii where milk can be $15 a gallon.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no
thanks. No thanks,
sorry, man.
And remember, Kicker doesn't use milk.
I don't. How much is the Greek yogurt? All right. And last thoughts. SoCal did not have a hotel attached, and it really made me realize how important it is, or how nice it is, to have a hotel attached, to be able to go down the elevator and immediately walk right into the venue. Every day. Even though
I am a lazy traveler, and I love that idea.
Yeah. Right. So staying on site, staying off site this time made me realize how nice it is to actually stay on site.
Yep.
Seth, do you want to talk about FLG and news? Is there anything we should highlight? Let's not talk about Grim After Dark, those assholes.
I mean, that was mainly it. It was Grim.
Yeah.
This week, it was another Valisode.
Mhm.
We did have our lovely Techpriest behind the scenes here. He got to have his first commentary role this past weekend.
Yeah, he did.
In helping to stream and commentate on the SoCal Open, and he did fantastic. And I think we as a community need to congratulate him, because that man was running the board and doing commentary.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So, congrats.
Is he popping up? Is our Techpriest popping up right now? There he is.
He's trying.
Can I talk? Yeah, I'm talking.
Yes.
Okay, good. I was saying I was doing it all. I was literally Joe. I was Joe on the Johnny.
I called you a part-time Joe this weekend.
Yeah, I was a part-time Joe.
Joe of War Games Live fame, people.
Yeah.
Joe is a trooper. Seth, you want to do you want to do a drum roll here or something? Do you just want to
drum roll?
Drum roll. Guys, we are pleased to announce the Frontline Gaming 2023 season as a first officially announced on Sunday during the SoCal stream. We did announce the full season, and Seth, there it is in glorious full color on our screens right now. Yes, guys, we are going up in event quantity numbers to 9 events for next year. Yeah, shiny. I guess we should 9 events. That's 9 months that I'm traveling now. I'm happy. It's okay. I'm okay.
He's happy. He wants this.
I love this. This is wonderful. Yeah. No. It's great. It's exciting. A lot of thought and planning is going into each one of these events and where they're placed and whatnot. I guess we should just say that starting off in January, of course, it's the LVO. January is just LVO month.
Everyone knows it. It's
Although
already on the calendars.
Could possibly be February at one point, but right now it's January. So at least for 2023, if you haven't got your tickets already for LVO, you're probably not going at this point.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, you could probably come and hang out, right?
Yeah.
They could get a con badge, but playing in an event.
Well, moving into February, towards the end of February, and this time not over Mardi Gras like last year or this year, I guess, because I missed Mardi Gras to go work Cherokee. The Cherokee Open will be happening in Cherokee, North Carolina, and this year it's going to be in 2023 coming up. It's going to be bigger and better. We're going to have the Cherokee tribe's going to do a war dance again, like they did last time, to kind of bless our event, and then there's some special stuff planned after the dice are done rolling on Friday night and Saturday night. More information will get released.
Are those event tickets on sale yet?
Those event tickets are not on sale. They are, you're hearing it first here on Signals, because we love you guys and we give you the real information, before anyone else. Most likely tickets will go on sale on Monday or Tuesday. I am working like crazy to get them live. Like
keep your eyes glued to the community page.
Yes.
That's where you're going to see the announcement. If it gets released before our next episode. So stay tuned on that. I actually have had several friends reach out to me asking if I'm going, when are the dates, all that jazz. So folks are definitely looking at going to this event. I will be returning to this event, probably with my wife again, because she enjoyed just hanging out at the casino.
Might bring my wife too, dude. Seth, this was my favorite event.
This could be our chance to finally put the wives together.
They can hang out. That'd be great. Seth, Cherokee was my favorite event of 2023. 2, hands down. It was just a fun, awesome event. Can't really say anything wrong about it. It was great.
That's a
The
good
only
time.
problem is it sucks if you're trying to fly in because it's just not really
Yep.
close to flying.
It's definitely a driver.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, but I mean, we had
What do you
people
think,
coming all the way
Techpriest?
from Florida. Huh?
He's still bouncing around. I thought maybe you want to
No.
say something.
I keep forgetting I'm muting myself, and
No.
yeah, no, that's super awesome. I'm looking forward to going to some of them, but hopefully
Yeah.
virtually all of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, after
Does that mean we're going to have a hologram of the Techpriest wandering around?
A
Is that what you're saying?
hologram? I don't know if we have the budget. We were talking about low budget. No, holograms are mid budget. We don't
Really?
We have
Okay.
cartoons.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. My mistake.
My bad.
Sorry, chat.
One day. After February, we go right into March, and that's when we have our brand spanking new event, the Rocky Mountain Open, taking place in Denver, Colorado. This is the nice new shiny event that we're really pleased to announce. Yes, it's a surprise location. It's great because it's close to the airport. You got the mountains in the background. It is in Denver. It is in March, and it does snow in March, and that's very much a realistic possibility. But all the locals and not so locals have all told me that, you know what, the snow there at that point is nothing, no big deal. Everyone still goes out about their daily lives at that point.
Yeah.
The venue is amazing. When the tickets go live, we're going to tell the exact venue, but it's basically outside of Denver. This one will just be 40K and just be Star Wars Legion for this first year, just to minimize our risk. At any time we start a new event, it's really scary, really risky for us. So we didn't, get the biggest venue in the world. We got a venue just big enough for 40K champs and Star Wars Legion. And this event is happening purely because of the locals, man. The locals made it happen. They reached out to us, but it's a couple guys, Colin K and Brandon Roddy, who have just been, pushing for this event to happen, have worked with me, scouted out the location, and now it's a thing. So yeah. After that, we've got nothing in April, because in April we might have some surprises that you'll be finding out in about 2 weeks that will be happening during that time. So nothing in April from us. And then comes May, when we have the BAO, and it is back, baby. The BAO back in the same location, except we're taking up way more space there.
The BAO is kind of the granddaddy of them all. It's the one that started everything.
It is the longest running Frontline gaming event, and the venue has changed, but at least for 2022 and 2023, so next year it will be in the same venue. We're just taking up way more space so that we can, not cram as many, cram people in there. We'll actually be adding some other, games as well. And also, I should say this straight up, it's not attached to KublaiCon, the big comic convention. We found that was actually impacting people's enjoyment. It was just getting too hard. They couldn't get the tickets like they normally did, and we weren't able to have as much control. So now, by us running the event completely and totally independently, we can really do whatever we want. And I will say, this is my favorite hotel from this year. Surprisingly awesome hotel. After that, we've got in June, we've got ACO, and ACO is doubling in size. If you've been there before, it was the second floor of the convention center. Now we both the second and first floor. So we are literally doubling in size.
2 floors.
We have and
Kicker, how are you going to run across 2 floors?
I don't know that one yet, Seth. That is a very good question. I guess I will have to clone myself. Most likely, I'll have to clone myself. I can do this. We have the technology.
Okay.
We should also discuss.
I'm nervous about if the Kicker clone.
The Kicker clone, can the world handle 2 of me? Probably not. We should discuss that there's also going to be a very important partner for this event. When these tickets go live, that partner will be announced. And then comes July, and yes, guys, the Lone Star opening is happening again for the 3rd year, and this time again it is the military appreciation event from Frontline Gaming. We'll be doing all those cool perks for military, both currently and formerly serving, including discounted rooms, free gifts, ideally some free drinks at the bar, so all that stuff.
That went down very well this past year, so I would expect to see a lot more attendance at that one this year, because now that the word is out on that.
The word is out, and that space we can't increase the size for next year, so we'll see. It almost sold. It's getting kind of packed. Like we could try and minimize size on some of the other game systems, but everyone
have
wants
we considered putting tables on top of each other?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we can just layer,
and then the players on the top table wear stilts.
Perfect. There you solved the problem. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate it. And in August, we have Cruise Hammer. This is heading out of New Jersey this year. In 2023. So all the people that up in the Northeast can just drive to it as opposed to have to fly in.
That is much more convenient. Particularly, I don't know, Kicker. I would assume you tend to travel light.
Actually, it's embarrassing. Okay, I mean, I try to. I claim I do, but I really don't.
My wife does not travel light. and we've taken cruises that we've driven to the port,
Yeah.
and that's been a lot easier to manage than the cruises that we've flown to the
Yeah.
port.
Yeah.
I definitely, if you're doing a cruise like Cruise Hammer, particularly where you got to bring an army,
Yeah.
driving to the port, much better
Perfect. Yes. So hopefully a lot more people can go to Cruise Hammer in
Yeah.
2023 because they're by a very large population center. And this will be a 7-day cruise in the Caribbean. Same concept. When we're at port, you're playing. When you're at port, you're at port hanging out. And when you're at sea, you're playing. So that's how
And then you're
we
hanging
all
out
meet a
at
lot of
night
fun.
with your friends.
Yeah, I mean, at SoCal, I got to see a bunch of my buddies that I made friends with on SoCal. I mean, on the cruise. Like I had dinner with these guys every single night for a week. So, Cruise Hammer, you really do make long-lasting friendships, which is sweet.
You do.
And in September, we're working on a big project, but I don't feel comfortable listing anything about it until the contract is signed. I don't think it's fair to you guys to announce anything until the contract is signed.
Right.
But I know people want team events, and so I'm trying to see if we can do another team event in September. But until that contract is signed, it's still got to be a TBA. In October, then we have SoCal again, same rough time of the year, same venue. You know it, you love it. We just finished talking about it. SoCal's happening again.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the months, they're open. November, December, you've noticed a few months that are open. That's going to be for some really fun things happening that we will not directly be working with, but we'll be very much involved with.
Yeah, stay tuned in the coming weeks for that.
Yes. Seth, I guess we talked about Cherokee next Monday or Tuesday. That's when the tickets are going to drop for that. So stand by. Seth, I want you to take us into the competitive world because we have a few little things we do need to, quickly see how things are in the whole competitive scene.
Yep. We talked a bit about the data slate already. Not to belittle that. The SoCal Open did not run the data slate. I know that was a very common question. So that was kind of our last snapshot of the meta that was.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see going forward what the meta will be. Now, kicker, you like to have some jank, right?
We always need our jank of the week. It can randomly appear at any time in the episode. Is it time for the jank of the week?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily jank, but I am here.
Oh, you're here
to tell you, kicker.
All right.
I have a bold statement. I'm going on record on air that I've been playing some practice games with my Votann.
Okay.
And I believe I've been doing some TTS proxying. Sagittar are better than land fortresses.
Those are fighting words.
I know. And immediately I got raged at in my discords about it, and I got raged at it by a few Votann players in person this past weekend. But I'm sticking to my guns, man. I think them little speedy little buggers are going to be the way of the future.
Okay, so Seth, just break it down. Why?
Okay, so why? So I like to run them with the auto cannons and the bolt cannons. And the reason being that is 6 shots at strength 6, -2, 2 damage, and 6 shots at strength 7, -2, 2 damage. That's 130 points for that kicker.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Let's compare it to another vehicle that most people would say are good, the Armiger Hellvarin. That's about 140 points for 4 D3 shots at strength 7, -2, 3 damage.
Wow, I didn't think about it like that. That's a really good comparison.
It's got a good amount of damage output for its points. It's T7. It's 9 wounds, so it's a little less durable. 3 up armor, but it does have that void armor, so you're reducing AP by 1. They can't reroll against you. That in order to get to a 6 up save, they've got to be hitting me with an AP4 shot at that point. Like a melta gun. Cannon's not going to do it.
Dude, Seth, I think that your comparison. Are you a teacher? Do you teach people?
I might be. And then you can't understate the ability that bringing that unit of 2 that you deploy and split for it to split squads for you. And you can make small little 5-man squads using that thing now. And they're fast. They've got good shooting. They're transporting stuff around the table. I think the land fortress is certainly good. And I talked about this with some friends recently. The land fortress has a ton of firepower, and it's durable, and it's a great transport. And if your opponent has one big thing across the table, it's great. I'm going to shoot that big thing, and I'm going to put all my buffs on it, and you're not going to hurt me back. But if your opponent runs MSU, Harlequins, Necrons, Sisters,
that land fortress is wasted.
It's not going to have enough activations to tackle all those things. And for every 1 land fortress at 300 points, I'm getting 2 Sagittar and a few spare points left over.
Yeah.
So I think there's some real value there. I'm going to keep pushing that list around on the table, see how it feels. But I'm excited that those models are up for pre-order this weekend. I will definitely be hitting the FLG site on Saturday.
I guess we didn't even talk about that in the industry news. Yes, Votann are up for pre-order of the full release this weekend. Seth, question, because I'm seeing in the chat, what are you putting in those Sagittar? I mean, I'm assuming.
So the list I ran most recently, I have 6 Sagittar, and I have 20 Berserkers and 30 Warriors. So the ends up being 20 of the Berserkers get into the Sagittar and like 10 of the 20 Warriors. But they're just little murder balls running around at that point.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm excited for them. But to be fair, I also loved orc buggies when they could split and run around and be little individual jerks running around shooting things. So this very much appeals to that play style that I loved before. So.
Nice, dude.
All right, let's get into the ITC recap for the week. Let's get that pulled up, Techpriest, in the background. There we go. Thank you, Techpriest. I appreciate you so much. I'm really vocal of supporting the Techpriest because I don't want him to leave us, guys. He hasn't threatened to leave us. He hasn't threatened to leave us, but I love him, and I just want him to know that. Number 1, Jack Harpster. He's still reigning supreme. Number 2, Vic VJ. Number 3, David Gaylord. Number 4, Thomas Ogden. And number 5, John Lennon. These scores up here are not reflective of SoCal yet. Just for this week, just keep that in mind that SoCal has not gone in yet. Sliding on over to the hobby track, our number 1, still reigning supreme, Matt Aaron. Number 2, Jacob Thayer. Number 3, Aaron Kelman. Number 4, Dean Pritchard. And number 5, Eric Mullins. Going on down to the AOS hobby track, we've got number 1, Gavin Greigar. AOS competitive track. I skipped ahead. I'm sorry, Techpriest. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Number 1, Gavin Greigar. Number 2, Anthony Trentinelli. Number 3, Jeremy Vizier. Number 4, Ridge Hanna. And number 5, Matt Beasley. And now time for our hobby track with our number 1, Robert Snyder. Number 2, Ricky Fisher. Number 3, Nick Garcia. And then coming in at number 4 and number 5 from our competitive track, Anthony Trentinelli and Matt Beasley. And that is your ITC recap for the week. Chat. Time to get those final questions in because it's been a long one. And I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling pretty under the weather tonight. I worked out tonight before the show, and I definitely overdid it, and my stomach is very unhappy about it.
Have you had dinner yet, Seth?
I tried. I couldn't get it down.
Oh, no, man. Well, yeah, Chad, if you got any questions, hit us up. We are curious. Seth, I mean, really, man, I was surprised. I thought that after, the success of the 40K narrative, everyone's like, we just want 40K narrative, no more Sunday RTTs. But I guess it's just a long
I think it's something you got to try. You remember, a lot of, how many people did you have signed up for the narrative versus how many people do you have voting online? You probably got a lot of people voting that weren't there, so they haven't experienced it.
Yeah. No, totally.
I think that's perfect. Come on, kicker. Chat hasn't given me any questions, so it's my chance to soapbox and rant.
All right.
I last 2 weekends ago now went out to see Halloween Ends. That movie was a travesty.
What are you doing, man?
It was just I can't. Chat, if you're a longtime Halloween fan, it's best just to move on. So,
oh my God,
it's a great Laurie Strode story. It is not a good Michael Myers story.
Just stop on the Halloween train, man. Get onto like some Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas, right? That's a good Halloween movie,
dude. I have like 5 more days of Halloween movies. Like, let's calm down. Get off the Halloween train. Man, God, I did something with my face, and now the Techpriest found his thumbnail. What did I do? Pre-show, I was just like, no, I can't make funny faces this episode because he's gonna do it.
Man, I'll tell you, my kid is now 2.5 years old, which means he can go trick-or-treating and actually enjoy it. So that means I'm going trick-or-treating. So yes, pump for Halloween this year.
Just what we need. Kicker with more sugar. We got a few questions in chat, mostly about milk for recovery, for workout.
I mean, it's true.
It's true, but like, I felt fine during the workout. Afterwards, my stomach was like, "Bro, you are not putting anything in here. You can just skip dinner tonight."
Don't skip dinner. Don't skip dinner, man.
I tried. I shoveled some butternut squash and some carrots, and
all right,
I
there we
like
go.
a
There
few
we go.
pieces
But get
of
your
sausage.
protein. If you're lifting heavy, I know you're doing all these Olympic lifts, man. Get some protein.
I've got plenty of protein today. Trust me.
All right. Cool.
I've mixed protein powder with my oatmeal this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
It turned into a nasty cake mess.
Really? I figured to get all nice and like thick and sludgy, but in a good way.
I put way too much protein powder in, man. It was like 2 scoops.
No,
it just
too much.
Bad ratio. Bad ratio.
Too far. Maybe we should take ourselves out of here for tonight.
Yes, let's wrap it up for tonight before we spin too much off into strange nutrition questions.
My last little thank you thing I have to say is, guys, the events can never happen without the amazing community out there.
Did you get a good volunteer crew helping setting up and tearing down?
From setup to strike, there was amazing guys. I really have to give a shout out to the Colorado boys. They were really, really helpful. Even the stream, Garrett, James both came out to help make the FLGN stream live, and it couldn't have happened without these amazing people. And I also, dude, many people came up to me and just said hi. Guys, I got to meet Wolf Priest Carl in person. He's always in our chat. That was really cool getting to see him. And a few other people that are longtime listeners came up and said hi, and that's always really nice. So guys, if you ever see us at any one of the events, both Seth and I love to shake your hand, give you a hug, or give you some stickers, because usually we have a lot of stickers on us. But yeah, it was really good seeing so many wonderful human beings this past weekend. Seth, you want to take us out?
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We really hoped you enjoyed this episode of Singles from the Frontline. Have a great week, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Good night.